welcome to the podcast, Can You Take My Shift? Your favorite coworkers are off the clock and back for another episode. Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. The world is a clusterfuck right now. So Kelsey and Amy are gonna talk about the current events that are going on. And we might laugh and we might cry. But I gotta say, why, Amy, why do you put up with me?
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Got a tear in my eye. That was beautiful. Why do I put up with you? It's not that bad.
Oh, good to know. Good to know I'm not that bad.
Not that bad. There are worse things in life.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the podcast, faithful listeners, viewers, stans. Is this podcast on a Wednesday? Yes. Do we believe in consistency? Absolutely not. However, I will say this one is on. So we missed 2 weeks ago. We did miss a week because it was Amy's birthday week, we were very busy. And then
life happened.
Character in the podcast, good supporting character of the podcast, Trevor, got COVID.
Unfortunately.
So we had to kind of cancel Amy's big birthday. And we didn't do the podcast, but it was okay because you still had a lovely birthday with a few people that were able to be there.
Yes. I had probably like my first ever like big surprise. We were going to dinner with friend of the podcast, Kaylee, for her birthday, and we walk into the restaurant, and I'm walking in, minding my own business, going to sit down at my chair, and all of a sudden, who do I see sitting beside Kaylee? Our other good friend of the podcast, Traveler, was just sitting at the table, and Traveler lives 12 hours away from us. So I was like, why are you here? I've never been surprised like that before, like ever in my life. So it like threw me off like crazy. It was very exciting to have them here, but I was like, oh my God. Because like it's always one of those things where you're like, oh, surprises seem so fun, and then I started panicking a little bit because I was like, I haven't cleaned the house. Like, my bedroom's a mess. Like, where are they staying? How long are they here for? Like, we have to go get, like, food for, like, we start thinking, like, logistically, and you're like,
yeah.
Ah!
No, but it was so funny because we had been planning that surprise for like 2 months. And a fun fact about me is that I'm not great with secrets. Now, if you tell me a secret, like if it is a very big secret, I promise I won't tell anybody. But like stupid secrets, I cannot keep. And like, so here's the thing: is I just need to tell somebody. And when I was in high school and people would tell me secrets, and I just needed to tell someone, I would tell my dog because my dog doesn't care, or I would tell my mom because my mom would forget who people are. Like, honestly, like, you know how, like, a dad, you're like, this is my friend, Tanya. And your dad's like, who? It's like, Dad, you've met them. Like, my dad forgot Amy's name after living with us for a month. Like, so dads are good because they don't care. If you have a close relationship with your mom, my mom also, like, was like, cool, I'm not going to tell anybody. But Amy's my lockbox. So yeah. I tell Amy secrets, and because she doesn't tell anybody. And so I can get that anxiety weight off my chest.
Yeah.
But this was a secret I was keeping from her. So I told, like, obviously Trevor knew because Trevor is my other lockbox.
Yeah.
But I almost spoiled the secret at least 3 times. But Amy just over her head.
I'm a very oblivious person. I don't think too hard about things. Like, if you tell me things, I'll just be like, oh yeah, you know, I don't over like I overthink, but you could tell me things and I'll literally just like, whew. So that's, at least if you almost ruined it, I had literally no clue at all.
Oh yeah, I totally almost ruined it. Like Trevor got mad at me because I almost ruined it like 2-3 times. And he's like, Kelsey, like you have one job, and I'm like, I'm sorry. And do you know how many times I wanted to tell you? Like I actually really wanted to tell you, and I almost like told you because I told Becca because Becca was coming out for your
Yes.
birthday. So I told them because I didn't want to surprise them with another random person in our house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I texted them that day being like, oh my god, Katie's here for my birthday. And they were like, really? Wow. And then you told me that they knew. And on FaceTime, I was like, you knew.
You know, yeah.
And you acted surprised over time. They're like, yeah.
Yeah. Because I literally kicked Amy out of the room and I was like, I have to tell Becca something. So I did.
Yes. Which is fine.
But it's fine. I pulled the surprise off on you and on Kaylee, so I shall never probably pull off a surprise ever that good again.
No, it was a good one. It was a good one.
So the only other surprise I could think of is like, should I just like my God, what is it called? So you know the difference between like soft launch and hard launches?
Yes.
I feel like some things I can't keep in, but I feel like I could 100% hard launch a baby.
Like, keep it a secret?
Yeah.
I feel like you would show it a lot. Like, I'm not.
Nah,
like,
I'd pull a Kylie Jenner. I'd hard launch a baby.
I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
I am not pregnant. For our listeners and viewers and followers, I am absolutely not pregnant, and it's not a haha, I'm not pregnant, wink wink, I am not pregnant. I am drinking alcohol.
Good to know. Good to know.
Good to know. But yeah, I feel like I could hard launch that. Or like people who like hard launch, like they never post that they're dating someone, and it's just like, just got married, and you're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, like I had a friend who was like really hush hush about her significant other, and then the next thing I know, they got like married and went on this like massive honeymoon, and I was like, you were dating somebody?
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, to each their own about relationships, but sometimes I'm like, what?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I remember. I've seen a couple people that I used to know from either work or school, and they're like 7 months pregnant, and I was like, what? Last time I talked to you, you were single.
Yeah, didn't I just see you like a month ago?
Exactly. No, but it's crazy. But that's the thing, is like life moves fast, and because we're also focused on our own lives that we like forget. Because like, yeah, we're the main character in our own stories, but like everyone is, but like they have their entire other TV show going on in their own lives.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like, I think that's the kind of what we wanted to talk about today. So we don't have one set topic today because there's been a lot
going on in the world in general. Good and bad.
More on the bad than good. However, we wanted to kind of talk, because what do you do with people? You talk about what's going on, the current events. We can't ignore what's going on, because we could pretend to put our head in the sand and only talk about the good things going on. But there's some real fucking shitty things going on, and we're not going to sugarcoat it. There has been some good things going on. Like, I'd like to start this off. The first thing we want to talk about is going to be a positive thing. We'll try to do the sandwich where we go positive, negative, negative and then positive. We'll keep it going. But what I want to start with is all of the pictures of the Barbie movie with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. I don't care what the plot is. I truly do not care, but I am living for every single thing I see.
Did you see the video someone took while they were filming of somebody slapping like Barbie's ass, and like the whole like reaction, and like Ryan Gosling just being like, ah!
Oh my God, I love. Turns around and like punches him, and I'm like, yes, let's go, Barbie.
Yeah, come on, Barbie.
Come on, Barbie, let's go. And then people are drawing comparisons. So if you ever think you don't like children's cartoons, I can give you 5 that will completely change your mind because I'm a person who doesn't really like cartoons.
No. And I'm a very, very hard believer that cartoons are one of the best TV mediums out there.
Oh, absolutely. So, if you have never watched Barbie, My Life in the Dream House, you are sorely missing out.
It is so good. It is so unbelievably ridiculous.
It has no reason to be as good and as meta and like as it is. Like, okay, because there's so many different like Barbie movie shows. Like the whole BCU is huge. But like Barbie, My Life in the Dream House is just on another level. And like my favorite line is, ah, I smelled tension. I came running.
Yeah. It's so good. Like those kind of shows just make me like so happy because they're so self-aware.
Oh, it's so self-aware.
So self-aware.
And like from the pieces I'm seeing that Ryan Gosling is like channeling that version of Ken from My Life in the Dream House, because that version of Ken in Ken is just that's my favorite version of Ken.
I mean, I feel like there's never a bad version of Ken. Like even like Toy Story Ken is like one of my favorite characters ever.
Toy Story Ken is great. Yeah. I have to say Barbie Dreamhouse is a little bit more than Toy Story Ken.
Fair.
Because like Toy Story Ken, because My Life in the Dreamhouse Ken is like himbo. He's such a himbo.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But like Toy Story, he has a little bit of deception, which like I can forgive him. I don't forget, but I can forgive him.
Yes, we can move past.
Yeah, we can move past what he did. But like Dreamhouse, he's just full himbo.
Yes. So that's what I'm hoping for in the Greta Gerwig Barbie movie. Like, I don't think she'll let us down. I really don't think so. But I have no idea what this movie is going to be about. And we're not going to know what it's going to be about for like at least a year or more because they're just filming it now.
Well, I saw thing too because people are like, oh, we're watching this whole movie on Twitter. Well, I think it's actually a lot of people are talking about this might be a marketing ploy because they've already been filming it for months in England. So we're only catching the paparazzi shots, right? And like this is the best marketing, and they haven't had to pay like for any of this marketing other than obviously paying the actors and the film crew and stuff. But they haven't had to pay for any marketing.
And honestly, marketing's expensive.
Oh yeah, marketing's so expensive. And what I will say, the costume designer, like, on another level.
Good job. I need to look up who you are because you are absolutely killing it. It is so good.
But like, chef's kiss. But yeah, Amy, that's my good news story. Would you like to share? It's your turn for a news story. Would you like to go into the shit, the okay, the bad, or the good?
You're gonna give me the bad? That's not fair.
No, but because I've been like so like sad, stressed, and depressed lately, I get to share the Barbie news. You can share the depressing news.
That is fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start with like very, very like simple news, and we will build up to the rest of the bad news. But I feel like this one just kind of goes along more the lines of like we stream. We work like you went to school for PR. I work in marketing. So this story is kind of like very like low key in the sense of like other topics we're going to talk about. We'll get to the heavier stuff a little bit later on. But this story is about a company called G Fuel, which if y'all don't know what that is, it's basically like a powdered energy drink company. My partner drinks a decent amount of it. I've drinking a lot of it. Like it's pretty good. I have some of it in like a water bottle currently in my bedroom. And like it keeps you energized. Like the best way I can think of it, it's like a Starbucks refresher. And like it's cheap and easy. There's a lot of people, a lot of streamers who had like sponsorships with them, like coupon codes or like 30% offs, like things like that. And so it came out this story is a little old now. But yeah, it came out June 17th. But still like pretty relevant. Just because This popular gaming and esports company received waves of criticism after recently firing 7 of its partner and talent managers. The company reportedly notified ex-employees of their dismissal, citing quote-unquote restructuring. However, per reports, this came mere hours after staff filed complaints with HR regarding derogatory statements made by a superior executive, prompting suspicion of unfair dismissal. So basically what happened was a bunch of these people were called into a meeting, and supposedly during this meeting, they were called slurs, derogatory terms. They were told that their work was like basically garbage and let go. And it wasn't just one person. It was, again, 7 people all within one day. And during this day that they let everyone go, G Fuel was live on Twitch, and people were asking questions about this controversy in the Twitch chat, and anybody who was talking about it was immediately getting blocked. So they, to this day, we're recording this about 12 days after the story came out. There has been no response by G Fuel. All they keep posting on their Twitter is giveaways. So from like my thinking is that everyone they fired are the people who would write about this on their social media. And now a bunch of people are just like, dropping them completely. I mean, as they should, because if you're not going to make a statement, if you're not going to at least address what happened, you're no longer a reputable brand at that point.
Big yikes. Big old yikes.
Big yikes.
Yeah, so like, as everyone knows, I went to school for PR. First of all, fuck, that's the dumbest PR move you could make. So, company layoffs do happen, and
for sure,
nobody enjoys laying off people. Like, I have been laid off from work. I mean, so many people were laid off during the COVID pandemic, and it's awful, it's terrible. However, when a company needs to downsize and they need to do layoffs, there is a way to handle it. And there is a way to not handle it. And that is an example how to not do that. Because you can, so let's say your company goes bankrupt and you have no money and you have to lay off everyone. There's things you can do. You can do it nicely. That's the bare fucking minimum.
Yeah.
But calling people, like, I just can't. Like, I mean, personally, I have no desire. I've never had G Fuel. I'm the only person in this house who has never had G Fuel. It looks like Crystal Light to me, and Crystal Light gave me headaches, so that's why I won't try it. Because aspartame gives me headaches. That's why I can't use artificial sweeteners.
Oh, there's no aspartame in it. But besides the point, I'm not gonna upsell this company now.
No, fuck it. So I mean, I'm not gonna say, Amy, dump it down the drain, because you've already paid for it.
Yeah.
That's just like when people were lighting their Nikes on fire. It's like they already have your money.
Yeah, like at that point they don't care, and obviously they don't. The crazy thing to me is they just don't care enough to make a statement, and the fact that they did this and also went live on Twitch the same day is absolutely insane to me. Like, that's psychotic behavior. The fact that you won't even address it. Like, there was a situation that happened a couple months earlier. This PC company was giving away a free PC on stream. They pulled the name out of the hat. They looked up the person on Twitch and was like, we don't want to give this PC to this person. They don't have enough followers. We'll pick a new name. So,
giveaway.
No, that's not a giveaway.
That's absolutely not a giveaway, because then you're looking for free marketing. No, that is not. That is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's there's rules about. There's so many rules about giveaways that you have to
Oh yeah, my work, I had to organize a giveaway, and it has to go through legal, and you have to set it up properly, and you have to do your due diligence and your research about it, because there's a lot that goes into it, right? There's shipping, there's fees, there's addresses, there's personal information. It's a lot.
Because every time Trevor's work will do a giveaway, I go, pick me. And he goes, no, Kelsey, I can't pick you. Pick me. But I know he actually cannot pick me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what the PC company did was insane. And also what G Fuel's doing is also crazy.
That's such bad marketing. And okay, if you're already losing money, that's just going to make you lose even more money. Because, okay, so they partnered, so I know this, the G Fuel decided to partner with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And I've seen the first Sonic movie. Apparently the second Sonic movie is really good. That's what I have been told. We haven't watched it yet, because did Mason join us for the Sonic movie?
No, remember that was a whole thing, and we gaslit him into thinking that he was there watching it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Again, apologies, okay. Mason.
Apologies, Mason. It's okay. He doesn't listen to the podcast. But he might be able to hear us through the walls. But, okay, so we haven't seen the second Sonic movie because the three of us have not been together, because the three of us have to watch it together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Me, Amy, and Trevor, not Mason, because unless...
Anyway. If he wants to join, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, he's allowed to watch the Sonic movie with us. But... I saw this thing that was like, as soon as they got that Sonic partnership, they threw like all of their influencers under the bus because they got that. What studio makes Sonic? I want to say
Paramount.
Because it's Sega, and is Sega part of Nintendo?
No, it's different.
Production company Paramount. I knew it was Paramount.
I literally said that twice. Thank you.
You said that twice?
Yes. I was like, it's Paramount, right?
But I wanted to be sure. But yeah, no, in my head, I knew it was Paramount, but I had to double check. I had to be right. Can't be spreading fake news here on the podcast.
Never.
Yeah. But like they got that Paramount money, and they're like, we're good. So all of our like influencers eat glass.
Yeah. Like, yeah. And that's insane. Like, especially because like people will like promote it on their streams, right? People are like, what are you drinking? G Fuel. Like, just happens.
What am I drinking? I'm drinking a Sway. This tastes like a Dole Whip from Disneyland, but alcohol. And Sway, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, hit me up. Send me a DM. Send me a message. You're absolutely not watching. But however, if just in case you are, I will take your money. I will.
Absolutely.
Like, we can go over things in this room that I would let sponsor me. I am wearing ColourPop makeup. You may sponsor me. I am wearing a wig from Bellamy. You may also sponsor me. IKEA, that shelf that I built and painted, you may also sponsor me. Amy, what do you got behind you? I see an H&M pillow.
Yes, an H&M pillow. H&M comforter, IKEA chair.
Yeah.
IKEA shelf.
Exactly.
Canadian Tire, do you want to give me more mushrooms?
Okay, I'm sorry, but Canadian Tire owes me for that. They owe me at least a check for like $100. Because that TikTok got like 300,000 views. Yeah. They owe me some money for that.
They owe you something.
Exactly. But anyways, fuck G Fuel.
Yeah. Not
Drink Red Bull.
I mean, let's find other alternatives because like Red Bull's not healthy. We're trying to find something. Currently, no luck, but we're working on it.
All I know is like Red Bull sponsors everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
they can. They're a big enough company.
Exactly.
But Kelsey, do you have another piece of? I don't know. Do you got happy news or sad news?
Ooh, do you want? I have salty news.
Ooh, yes. Okay,
so speaking of shitty companies. So you want to know what's up new with Kelsey. So I've previously talked about this a little while ago. So I've taken a break from streaming because, you know, my mental health hasn't been great. And I've been really busy. So I am taking a break. However, so I'm like a little complacent in my job. I've unfortunately outgrown it. And I'm a little bored. So I've been keeping my eye open for new things. I'm not ready to quit my job, but I'm keeping my eye open. So I got a company messaged me about headhunting. So I got a lot of these spam headhunting that I just ignore, or they'll message me about something I'm doing now, and I'm like, no, that's the exact same job. Why would I want to go to somewhere I don't know
Fair.
for the same pay? When, like, I have my 3 work best friends, we chill, my job's not too hard, I can put up with the shitty people in my office. So I got a headhunting email from a company that rhymes with Shizzard. And I could not stop laughing the minute I got the email. So I was like, I called Trevor right away and I was like, can you believe Shizzard sent me an email for a front desk position because they were reopening one of their offices. So at first I was like, absolutely not, because for those who know, Shizzard got into a huge legal
A very big scandal.
Yes, about sexual assault, treating female, non-binary, and LGBTQIA employees like garbage. There was many investigations, and a huge scandal.
Yes.
So, but then I was like, okay, well, if I want to get into gaming, why don't I hear them out? So I sent back my stuff, and then I had an interview with them. And in my interview, I asked what Shizzard was doing for their female and non-binary employees to create a safe work environment. And then she gave me this whole spiel for like 15 minutes, and how that we're hiring lots of women of like people of color, lots of minorities, and like how they're like completely restructuring, and how they brought this woman in from this company that rhymes with Hetflix to like change everything. And I was like, all right, okay, you see him. And she's like, thank you so much for asking. Some people are scared to ask us, but we really like want to create a whole new outlook. And from a PR standpoint, I was really impressed. All right, the fact that they knew I was going to ask and they had a prepared answer.
Yeah.
So then I had my second interview with the 2 people who would have been my bosses. So we're talking, we're riffing, we're having fun. It's going really well. But then I decide I'm going to ask the question again, because this means a lot to me.
Of course.
And so I asked them, and I got kind of a very different answer. I got, well, like the company is reshuffling and changing things. And, we used to have an open bar at Christmas parties, but now we have drink tickets. So, I mean, there weren't any problems in the past, but like, if there is, you can talk to someone. And that was like a very different answer.
Yeah.
And I got the vibe from this woman that she's one of those women who do not believe other women when they say like, oh, well, Kyle would never do that to me. Kyle's always been nice to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so finished the interview. I thought I gave a good interview, but I was a little like peeved at her answer, but I didn't really think anything of it. So a week goes by, don't hear anything. So I send a message like, hey, just want to know, because I also get really pissed off when jobs just ghost you. Like, you the one who sought out me. Yeah, it's the bare minimum. You're the one who sought out me first. I didn't seek out you. You sought out me. And then, so I send a message to the recruiter, hey, just wanted to know, like, any updates? Nothing. I received nothing back. And then what do we see last night? The job has been posted again.
Yeah. Sucks.
So obviously didn't get that job, but do I want a job where the CEO who was, what was he, was he
like kind of big in the allegations.
Yeah, like there was proof found that he sexually assaulted a female employee, but guess who was just put back in his seat? Yeah. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though they really didn't deserve it. And then I find out that if you ask them an honest question, they still don't like that. So, I mean, all's well that is well. That I will not be working for Slizzard, or Shizzard, or
It's all good. We get it.
Exactly. We know who I'm
We
talking
know.
about.
Mhm.
But legally, you can't come after me.
Was that
Like,
your news?
that was my salty news. I just
Oh.
wanted to update the friends, update the podcast.
Ah.
So I'm still at my corporate job because that didn't turn out. I also asked for like way more money than I'm making now. That like they could have given. I know they fully could have paid me, but when I asked for it, they're like, "Oh, like the budget was actually here," and I was like, "I did my research. I know what the previous position was making. Plus, it like this calculated inflation. Like you can pay me this."
Yeah.
You're a tech company. You can pay me this.
Absolutely.
No. But, all right, Amy, your turn.
I'm not doing another thing of bad news. I have a very
Okay.
quick good news story that's easy peasy lemon squeezy to add in.
Okay. And then I'll do more bad news.
And then you can do more bad news because you did salty.
Fair enough.
So I now get sweet news.
Okay.
So this was also back at the beginning of the month. Because again, life just got crazy, so I've been able to update it. And since we're just doing like fun news episodes, this is this. This really great news is a tiny group of people with rectal cancer just experienced something of a scientific miracle. Their cancer simply vanished after an experimental treatment. Yeah, it's incredibly good news. So it's just in a very small trial done by doctors at New York's Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Patients took a drug called, I'm very sorry, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, dostarlimab for 6 months, and the trial resulted in every single one of their tumors disappearing. So this is for like one very specific type of cancer, obviously.
Yeah.
But from this, hopefully, there can be a lot more like tests done. We don't know if it's going to work on other cancers or things like that. Yeah, the trial group included just 18 people, and there's still more to be learned about how the treatment worked. But some scientists say these kind of results have never been seen in the history of cancer research. So that's very
something good to hear. I appreciate that.
Yeah, something very, very good to hear. I have a cancer survivor in my family. That's my brother. I think most of us at least know one person who has been affected by cancer. So this is a very good step forward. So yay! Good news.
Oh, so good to hear. Yeah, I have lost quite a few family members due to cancer. And cancer's hard because everybody is touched by it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a friend, a family member, or even yourself.
Yep.
And to hear any good news or any further along of any like methods of treatment, and it's so good to hear. Yeah. And I'm so sorry that my next story is gonna have to sully that good news. But thank you for sharing that good news. I really do appreciate it because I hear about that, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah, I think I saw it on like a TikTok. Oh, I saw it on a TikTok, and then a YouTuber we both like to watch, like Philip DeFranco. He talked about it because I feel so bad for the dude. He's a news reporter, so he constantly has to talk about bad news, and he was like, I literally need to talk about this because it is great. And so I was like, oh, so now everyone else knows. Hopefully, the people say the study can be seen as like practice changing. So fingers crossed that this continues to further lots of good cancer drug treatment news.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. So
I'm trying.
Sorry, Kelsey.
No, it's okay. I think we're gonna push the big one to the end because I don't want to touch about it, but neither of us want to talk about it. But we have both.
If we gotta rip the Band-Aid off, we gotta rip the Band-Aid off.
Shall we just rip the Band-Aid off?
We can rip the Band-Aid off. It's gotta happen. We don't need to avoid it because it is something that is important to know about.
So, if you live in the U.S., there was a case called Roe v. Wade, and that has to do with abortion rights. And Roe v. Wade, as it was leaked, got overturned. I believe it was 3-6.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck you, 6 assholes.
Yep.
So here at Can You Take My Shift? We are a podcast based in Canada, and in Canada we have the right to abortion and the right to choose as women and people who have uteruses our own body choice. However, in some places in Canada, it is not as easy to get an abortion as in other places.
Yes.
So just because we live in Canada, there are still fundamental roadblocks that stop women from getting the health they need and the choice they need.
Yes.
And there's many reasons why a woman can have an abortion, from simply just not wanting a child to many medical reasons. For example, there's a lot of medical reasons why you would need to terminate a pregnancy that are not due to your own choice. If you have an ectopic pregnancy, that is an abortion. An ectopic pregnancy is when the embryo is in your fallopian tube, and if your fallopian tube bursts, that will kill you. I have known people who have had ectopic pregnancies and have almost died.
It's scary. It's
scary.
Unbelievably terrifying. No one wants to go through that.
And if you have a miscarriage and there's tissue left over, that's technically an abortion to remove the leftover tissue. Again, if you do not remove the tissue, you can go septic and you will die. There is many reasons why women need access to abortion, but also if a woman just does not want to have a child, she does not need to have a child.
No. It's everyone's right to choose. That's the whole point of like free society.
Yeah. Women are not vessels for the unborn. We are our own people, and it's heartbreaking because this isn't due to they claim it's due to religion. This isn't due to religion. This is due to white supremacy and the elite keeping the poor class poor. Rich women will always have the option to get an abortion because they have the means to. If you are wealthy and you have money, you can go get an abortion. You can fly to Canada. You can go to a state, because the Supreme Court, so this is not abortion is illegal in America, it's that states have the right to choose whether or not you can have an abortion in their state. So that is, I want to make that very clear, because some states you can still have, but some women do not have the money to get on a plane and go to even another state or even go to another country. But rich women will always have that option, so that they're not outlawing abortion because they want to save babies or the unborn. They're outlawing it to keep the poor and working class poor. That's all it is, and it's heartbreaking, and people are angry, and people need to be angry, and especially as women and people who can get pregnant.
Yeah, I think it's important to just like clarify in that conversation, where just clarifying like anyone who has like a uterus is involved in this. Yes. That includes trans, non-binary, and anybody who is able to get pregnant is affected by this.
And the fact that like this clump of cells has rights, when a lot of people you don't need to justify like, oh, if you were impregnated against your will, or you were impregnated by with rape, and I'm just gonna say it, rape and incest.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even that's fucking awful. But the fact that it shouldn't need to be justified by that. It should be all it needs to be justified is, I don't want this baby. I am not having this baby.
Yeah, like nobody, at the end of the day, it's not a pretty thing to talk about ever. It's not a fun thing to discuss ever. But what it really comes down to is choice. And it's not fair that that choice is now being taken away from millions of people. That's what it really comes down to.
And that's the thing. Like, yes, Amy is right. It's ugly to talk about, but we need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't talk about it, if we sweep it under the rug, then we let them win.
Mm-hmm.
For example, for a very personal story for me. So I've known people in my life who've had abortions. I have never personally had one. However, I have had early stage miscarriage. And I think back to that, and I was with a partner who had cheated on me multiple times. I was 21 years old. I was in no place whatsoever, mentally, physically, and financially, to have a child. And with a very unstable partner. But if I had not miscarried, I would not have wanted to keep that child. Because I found out he was cheating on me 3 weeks later. And I would have been stuck with that person. I would have been tied to that person. I don't mean that I would have had to marry that person, because you do not have to marry someone just because you're having a baby with them.
Yes.
But I would have been tied to that person for 18 years.
Mm-hmm. And it's tough. That's tough to talk about, and it's tough to deal with. And it's just, it sucks that some of the people who are in charge of making this decision are never going to actually have to make that call. Like, a lot of the people arguing against this are men.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, you are never going to have to put your body through what people with a uterus have to go through when they experience pregnancy. It's hard on your body. It changes your body. And even after you have the kid, there's postpartum depression, which is rampant and like never talked about. So it's not just as easy as being like, oh, it's a life. Nobody likes the idea of like hurting a baby. Babies are very small, very sweet, and you know, it's a miracle to have them. But at the end of the day, if somebody is raped or it's not safe for them to carry a kid, like, I'm very thankful I don't have to necessarily like worry about it. But if something was like, if I did get pregnant and something was to ever go wrong, like, the fact that I don't get to have that choice is not fair. And it's not okay. Like, why is all of a sudden my life less important? And it just sucks. It's not fun. And we're very lucky because we can say this a little, we can talk about this a little bit from like a privileged position. We live in Canada. So we are very lucky that we have some access, but like Kelsey said earlier, it's not as easy in certain provinces as it is in others. And there are many members of Canadian Parliament who are pro-life. There was like a Canadian member of Parliament who came out being like, oh, this is a great day. This is like a huge step forward, that it was overturned. And I would like to say many words about what he said, but I'm going to keep my calm because he doesn't deserve those words even said to him. So
the fact
it just goes to show that it's possible anywhere. Like, you're not necessarily safe anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say the fact. So one of like the biggest news, so it's called Daily Hive. They posted every single MP.
Yes.
That is, I don't like calling them pro-life. I like calling them anti-choice, because it's not life. It's a clump of cells. And if you were pro-life, you would be taking care of the children in foster homes. You would be making sure there is subsidized childcare.
Mm-hmm.
You would make sure that there is no formula shortage. You would make sure that there is universal health care.
Yeah.
So you're not pro-life. You're anti-choice to people with uteruses.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know, I was going to say, all the people who are like, we'll adopt your baby. How about you go to the foster care system and adopt all those kids that are already there?
But the fact is that they'll adopt your baby.
They don't want the poor, like, 8, 9, 10, 12 year olds.
Mm-hmm. So the only, like, there's been so many memes that I laugh because some of them are ridiculous. Like, oh, we'll adopt your baby. Like, my favorite one is like the couple from Stuart Little. We won't adopt your baby. We'll adopt a mouse.
Yes, Because if you think about it, that, to get a little bit off topic, the whole story of Stuart Little's absolutely batshit insane. Could you imagine going to a foster home and being like, yes, fuck all you kids, we want the mouse? Like, that's insane.
Yeah. But no, we have to lighten it up because it's really shitty and it's really dark and it sucks ass. But you know what? Why did Stuart Little's parents do that?
Yeah, why did they do that? Like, there was the guy on social media the other day who got owned by a Great Lake. If y'all didn't see that. Basically, like, the Twitter account of Lake Superior said, this lake vehemently stands with women having the right to choose. And I don't know, I'm not even going to give him any kind of clout, just some
Troll.
stupid looking white man who has, I look like I could park a car on his forehead, said water is wet and abortion kills a human being, which we all know both of those statements are not true. So the Great Lake replied with, not even your first talking point is correct. Water is not wet. What water touches is wet. I'm confident I have a lot more experience in making things wet than you do. Like, just the arguments I've seen. Like, I saw some stupid American senator be like, women just need to control their semen intake like they're taking it like a daily fucking vitamin. Like, that's not... Yeah, like, the tweet was so good. That's not what this is about, like, at all. It's about just, like, human rights, treating us like human beings. And it just sucks that we're stepping back and even the court is like, oh, now we're gonna go look at, like, privacy in the bedroom, same-sex marriage. All these things that should be considered human rights are apparently no longer because, you know, people are just like, oh, it goes against certain quote-unquote religious freedoms.
No, it's awful. And, like, it's so hard because, like, the news has been so depressing and shit lately. And, like, that's why I think people are like, oh, like, this generation has a fucked up sense of humor. It's because we're trying to find the laughter in the garbage, right? Like, I mean, like, memes make no sense.
No.
Like, you show a person like memes just don't make any sense. But one of my favorite meme accounts right now is somebody pretending to be like Kit Kittredge, like the American Girl doll.
Yeah.
The American Girl like doll like meme account. And it was like this American girl from the 70s had more rights in these states than you do now. Like, that account is my favorite because I just like I like cry with laughter every time they post.
Yeah.
But like we have to like, these people have to find the laughter in this absolute shit that what we're being dealt.
Yeah. And it's not like when people are like, oh, you're not taking it seriously. It's not that we're not taking it seriously. It's just the fact that this situation is so unbelievably ridiculous that you can make, like, the simplest argument and just completely, like, when people are like, oh, like, it's the science or we're doing it for, like, safety. No, you're not doing it for safety. I think, what was it? Sarah Huckabee? I don't know. Some, like, stupid, again, another stupid U.S.
Sarah
senator.
Huckabee Sanders, yeah.
Was like, we're going to keep children as safe in the womb as they are in schools. And we're like, did you understand at all what you just said?
Yeah, we're going to keep children safe in the womb as in the class womb. Yeah, that's how she said it. And I'm sorry, did we not just see all those children die?
Yeah.
In Texas?
From, like, essentially, like, negligence.
Yeah, and no police officers went in to save them. But okay, we should arm teachers with guns.
Yeah. Like, it makes zero sense. It makes absolutely zero sense. Yeah. And if you can't tell from our rants, we're obviously pro-choice.
Yeah.
So, like, if you are not, please don't listen to this podcast anymore. We don't want you here.
Yeah, if you are not pro-choice, stop listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Mm-hmm. You don't deserve to hear the sweet sounds of my sensuous, sultry voice. saying that if I was pregnant tomorrow, I would go get an abortion tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so would Amy, even though she'd be the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, that would be quite the instance to have.
Quite the immaculate conception.
But yeah, truly.
Yeah.
So no, it's insane. When we put this episode of the podcast out for like streaming, we'll try to link some resources down below.
Mm-hmm.
As we are Canadian, we'll link to like American resources, and there's also a great Twitter thread and Instagram thread of what to do in response of the overturning to Roe v. Wade if you live in Canada. So like how to donate, how to spread the word. One of the big slides that they do say is like, don't listen to both sides of the issue, because there isn't two sides to this issue. No. There's only one, and it's the right to choose. That's literally all it comes down to.
And like, if you're against abortions, cool, don't have one.
Yeah, no one.
That's it.
Yeah, no one is telling you to have one. No one is forcing you to do it. I don't want to hear anyone be like, they forced a vaccine on me. No, this is completely different.
Mm-hmm. It's your right to choose, because it is a parasite. Like, yes, babies are loving and magical when they are wanted, but if they are not wanted, it is a parasite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't ever, like, there's, like, some people I follow on TikTok that, like, they have a list of all the weird, like, shit that can happen when you're pregnant. Like, one of my coworkers, she just went on mat leave, and she was telling me some stuff, and I was like, you are not making this sound fun. Like, she wants this baby, and she's so excited to have this baby. But she was like, your vagina can turn blue, and I was like, excuse me?
How does it turn? I don't want to know. I
Yeah.
don't want to know. Don't Google it. I'm sure you'll run into some weird things.
Oh, yeah, please don't Google that. Yeah, Babushka Kelsey does, your Babushka says don't Google that if you don't want to see that. Yeah, but apparently, like, your teeth can fall out.
Yes, because basically because the baby's absorbing so many nutrients from you, like, that's why you have to take, like, prenatal vitamins and, like, up your intake of certain things, because, the baby's, like, draining your life. So
well, yeah, because it's a parasite.
Yeah.
When, like, it's either a wanted parasite or a not wanted parasite.
Yeah. So, no, it's a dark and bleak time right now, and it's okay if you feel weird or anxious or nervous or sad. It's one thing that's really been positive to see is a lot of places, American and Canadian companies, are offering to pay also to send their employees to get abortion services done if they need to. So that's been really great to see. You also know you fucked up when, like, literally, like, Amnesty International is coming after you, being like, you took away a human right.
Yep.
So, I don't... Also, again, if you are American, there are, like, midterm elections coming up. I don't know the date for sure. Unfortunately, I do believe... I saw a TikTok of these, like, poor young girls being like, my rights shouldn't be a voting tool. Unfortunately, this is what it is coming down to, which is very, very, very sad.
Yeah.
So, again, please go vote to do your civil rights, or civil duty, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know how much it'll really, like, it always sucks because you're like, how much is this really going to change? It's better to do so than not at all.
Yeah.
So,
as I always say, if you don't vote, you don't get to complain. If you vote, you fully get to complain. You did your job.
Yes. So.
So, anyways, I mean, not anyways, but that was the heavy
topic.
And it is heavy.
Yes.
So, since I started the heavy, I wanted to finish with a completely stupid news story, because I want to talk about something funny, and this is let's talk about Canadian idols. Now, Avril Lavigne is a Canadian superstar.
She is.
she is on TikTok, and so there's this conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, that she's dead, right?
So there's this conspiracy theory that the real Avril Lavigne died and she was replaced by a body double.
Yes.
So Avril Lavigne has joined TikTok, and she brought up the conspiracy theory. It says every comment on my Instagram, the text on TikTok reads, "Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? Are you the real Avril?" So like she obviously knows about the conspiracy theory, but it's so funny because it's this random like conspiracy theory from like a 2011 blog post like from Brazil. That
Yes.
she's not the real Avril Lavigne, and I just love that she's like weirdly addressing it
We love
after all these years.
No, we stan an icon. Like it's one of those things though where like it's one of those things that'll like kind of keep you relevant, right?
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, I think she's releasing like a new album soon, and so that's why she's
She
doing
is,
a
yeah.
whole bunch of like weird like press for it. Like she just recreated her like album cover like in the streets of New York. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe. I mean, I did one time watch a deep dive on that conspiracy because I was just like, who thinks of this? And you know, as every conspiracy, they make like one or two points that make you go, but the rest you're like, come on.
Yeah, and they make you believe it for like a good 5-10 minutes. Then you're like, actually, I don't know.
No.
But
yeah.
Avril Lavigne, we hope you're well. If not,
I mean, I'll listen to the new album. So like, I mean, she's put out some bad bops. She's put out some okay bops.
yeah.
I feel like she's gonna put out some good bops because you know she divorced the dude from Nickelback.
Not Canada's royal couple.
Canada's royal couple.
That's as close as we got.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah. So thank you for letting me share that because I needed to smile after all that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Like we said, like this episode was a lot just like talking news because so much has happened, and we knew that there was a big topic that was very unavoidable, and it would be very terrible if we didn't talk about it. I mean, again, we are a small little platform, but it seemed wrong not to mention it like at all. So, you know, you got to do your little like sandwich of like good news, bad news, good news, bad news.
Exactly. So Amy, do you want to finish us off with a news story?
I don't have anything else good.
You don't have anything else good? We could end it here. Honestly, we can end on Avril Lavigne. our true Canadian queen.
Yes, we definitely can.
Yeah.
Since it is almost as we are recording this, it's almost Canada Day.
It's almost Canada Day. Now, Amy, I gotta ask though, did you ever believe in that conspiracy, or did you just realize, like, you know what, people change?
Oh, I believed it for like a hot sec because I was like, you know what, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Anything is possible. I could see it because like I remember the whole thing was like she did like this stupid interview and she was talking about like Tim Hortons and the way she like talked about it.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, no Canadian would talk about Tim Hortons like that, and I was like, y'all realize she's like lived in the States now for probably a good chunk of her life, and so she doesn't have her like mannerisms she used to.
True. So we lived in the US for a year. I remember when I came back and I was like, oh, like, Mom, can I get a soda? And my mother was like, excuse me? A soda?
Yeah, I remember coming back home. Even now, my mom still clocks me, apparently, like, certain ways I, like, say phrases or, like, words or, like, my inflection. I sound American. I don't think so, but again, like, I don't notice it that much.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you if I do or if I don't.
It's okay. Sometimes you just gotta get yourself back in the Canadian. I just gotta squeeze right there past you there, eh?
Oh, gotta go right by ya. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry is something that'll always sound Canadian.
Oh, yeah. You will go for Timmy's for a double-double?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you had a pack of Timbits there.
Oh, I love Timbits. fuck, I love Tippets.
Yeah, I was up with me into Boise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you ever just want to get the Canadian accent, just watch an episode of Letterkenny. I remember one time when a clip of Letterkenny was going around Tumblr, and people were just like, what the fuck is this man saying? And it's like, you have clearly never been to Saskatchewan.
Oh, yeah. That's also like, if I doubt anyone knows this show anymore, but like Corner Gas was like a huge Canadian staple of a show. And I'm like, if y'all want to know Canadian small town culture, it's literally that show. That is the only way I can describe it. It is so insane.
I love that I was in an indie movie that we've talked about, and a man from one of the main characters from Corner Gas was in that movie with me, and I was like, I am so close. That's the 1 degree of separation.
Yeah. I remember when I found that out too, I was like, no way! Like, because he was such a main character. He was like a big comic relief in Corner Gas. And I was like,
was he at the? I don't think he was at the premiere.
No, he was. I did see him.
Oh, he was.
You did?
Okay.
I did see him, and I was like, oh, but I wasn't gonna like say anything. I'm like, I'd be like, good movie, by the way. Loved you in Corner Gas. Like, no, he's just living his life.
Yeah, I'm surprised that like my dad. Well, actually, no, my dad is a big. I love my dad. He's a big chicken shit when it comes to famous people. So when I was a kid, so my dad he's a sports guy. And when Guy Lafleur, which is a famous Montreal Canadian, because my dad is like a Montreal Canadian super fan, came to the hockey arena, my dad was like, that's Guy Lafleur. Like, I want his autograph. And I was like, okay. I don't know. I think I was like 8. I was like, go ask for his autograph. And he's like, I'm too nervous. So he gives me his hat and he's like, can you go ask him for his autograph? So my 8-year-old is very confident at 8. My 8-year-old ass stomps up to him. Hi, my dad's too nervous to ask for your autograph. Well, you sign his hat.
And then your dad was probably like, oh, sorry, no.
You know, my dad, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And the guy's like, no, he's like, no, it's okay. Yeah. But then my dad loved that hat and he wore it so much that the autograph came off.
Oh, your poor dad. He should have paint I don't know, something to hold it stay there.
I don't know. I was 8. I did my job.
You did what you were asked.
Yeah. Yeah, because he always says, because he won an auction to play hockey with some of retired Montreal Canadiens players, and he has fully said to me, he's like, you know, you and your sister being born and my wedding, great days, but I'm sorry, that day, best day of my life.
You know, I can respect your dad for that. I can respect your dad.
Oh yeah, I can respect that too. But it's just so funny. He's like, I love you 3. You are the 3 people I love most. Still best.
To each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own. Can't clock your dad there.
No.
So, nope. On that note, happy for your dad.
Yeah. Yes, on that note, Amy, would you like to give us the outro?
Yes, I can. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. I'm not even going to apologize that it got a little heavy. The world's heavy right now, and it just needs to be talked about. But hopefully, with some of the news we gave you a little bit of comic relief. We gave you a little bit of hope for the future. And just take care of each other right now. If you know anybody affected by this current Roe v. Wade situation, support them in any way that you can. Donate to any reputable charities that you know of that are currently trying to help these kind of situations. Like I said earlier, when the podcast is live, in the description of the podcast, I'll make sure to put some resources for everybody to be able to take a look at. But usually you can find us live on Twitch every other Thursday, the first and third Thursday of every month. And then the podcast comes out for your listening pleasure on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can find them, and on YouTube the second and fourth Thursday of every month. You can find us at Can You Take My Shift on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And then you can find us on Twitter at CYTMS Podcast. You can find Kelsey over at Kelsey Peets on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And then you can find me at Shelly Amy on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. I want to say that was a pretty smooth outro for the most part.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, considering I'm a little rusty. But yeah, just make sure y'all are taking care of each other. And just take it easy. If the world is too much for you, that is okay. Take a break and come back in a week or so. Hopefully things are a little bit better by then. But until then, Kelsey, can you take my shifts?
See, I don't know if I fully believe that it's Avril because it's actually Melissa Vandella when the real Avril wanted time off. So Melissa knows it's Melissa.
The person they actually have a name?
It's not Avril, it's Melissa!
Melissa?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.